test, so it's just going to be really boring.
That's quiz, all right.
Quiz, test,
Well,
quiz. You know, it's one and the same, sir.
It's not the same. A quiz is, it's like a minor element. A test is a major portion.
But the percentage of your grade remains unchanged in any event.
What is the percentage?
So we were,
5%.
Well,
Yeah,
if we go back to that very first,
yeah, 10%, because it's 20% total, so it's
that's
still
right, that's right. And so the reason why I said it that way, as I stare into the camera, is that you can't really get an A in the class unless you at least do well on your tests. That's the way I look at it. Right?
nervous about this test.
Me too. I did poorly on the other.
I don't know about that. So 3 out of 7, that's not a good percentage with 3 minutes to go before the hour.
10 minutes.
So where's Jesus? I mean,
I don't know, I think he went to the restaurant.
Classic.
He fell in.
Slow. Where is everybody at?
We have the class where we review the indicators, like lead indicators, lag indicators.
What?
Do you have information about the indicators, the economic indicators?
You didn't know that yet when you were.
No, I know it, but I want to review it. Because I can't find it.
What's the best lagging indicator that you use?
it depends what it's for. If we're focused only on just housing markets, for example, then we're going to look at, you know, new home sales or existing sales.
gonna say
That's
existing.
behind the 8 ball. But it depends what data that we're focused on. That particular component. It's going to focus. So it's the basket of all those different indices, which is really important. It says display is not working. Display phone system starts up. That's why looking at all those data are so important. Come on, folks. Here we go. Good morning.
Good morning.
Working at home, isn't it? I guess we'll wait just another minute or so, gives me a chance to just get myself ready. I'll be back in a minute, gentlemen.
I'll just try to move down.
Knock it out.
So we're still looking for Jesus.
Yeah. Better right now.
Hello. Good morning.
How about you're happy?
I'm always happy. So your team member decided that she thought it would be a safety hazard for her to drive on less than 3 hours of sleep. At least that's the email that I got this morning at 7 a.m.
That's correct.
And so I'm just thinking out loud on your behalf that is there a way that she can present with you via phone or some other method when you all get up on the dais at 10:30 this morning? So you should give that some thought and communicate with her. All right? Well, what do you know? He's here.
Sit down and make yoga.
So we will start our test, and I will email to her exam. All right. It's a beautiful morning in South Florida.
It is.
It's a shame we didn't have class last week.
You know,
Yeah, nothing happened.
You know, they should have. The whole weekend was kind of premature. I'll tell my wife about it. She's like, "You're the only person complaining." I'm like, "No, it's our second to last class. It was a nice class." And Saturday was a beautiful day too.
It was beautiful.
Nothing happened on Saturday.
It was
Well, I
beautiful.
think they have to make that decision ahead of time.
No,
They do.
every other university
They give it rain on
was
Saturday.
closed through Friday. University of Miami, all these other places
Yeah.
were closed through Friday.
Why no goes?
And so, you know, it's interesting, and lots of institutions made the decision to go like Wednesday evening
To
through
Friday.
Monday, and then some turned on the dime, but when you have thousands of students
Yeah, I
and
left that.
faculty, it's a difficult decision. And so, of course, I would have just said amongst the small group of us, I was more than happy, and I discussed it with Dr. Fred, that it wasn't meant to be. So, but we're going to make up for that, I hope.
We're gonna take
Here.
a quiz test.
Yeah. So, here's our morning. We'll make the best of it. This exam tests you on your skills. Hopefully you read. I'm going to ask that you put all your books and things away. You have your calculators. This is just as easy as the last one. Especially if you know it. Take your time on this one.
I already forgot what I put on the last.
Because you'll do just as well. Maybe you do better. There's no reason why all of you shouldn't be able to do well. Even on breakfast. You can eat during the exam, that's just
I
fine.
had to eat something.
Well, obviously that burst of energy is important. So you have calculators, okay? And I'm going to allocate, I'll give you the full hour. I don't really think you need it. But if you do, that's fine. Read your Wall Street journals when you're done. All right, so let's see. Exam number 2, I had a question about whether it was a quiz or an exam, but the weighting and the percentage points is still the same for you, okay?
Oof. What? No. nothing.
No?
I
No?
just wanted to say that.
Okay, now, put all this stuff away, sir.
I'm gonna grab some paper.
Yeah, scratch paper is just fine. Oops, I'm one short. No, that's not true. Okay. Here we go. Whoops, there we go, gentlemen. Okay, for your work, I'm going to take this off the screen.
Question here. Three types you want to know, not just.
Let's
the
ask
one,
the
two,
questions
three.
so everybody can hear this.
Okay.
Noah has a question, gentlemen,
What's your question, Noah?
on one of the questions.
If you, the one, how do I word this? One lease has a couple different types. I'm assuming you don't want each type of that one lease, even though they're different leases, correct?
So, what is the question? Name 3 types of leases used in office properties and the key featured each. So if you've read your recent chapters, what are the 3 kinds of leases? Pretty straightforward. It's really an effort to see if you've completed your reading of the book and are knowledgeable about that kind of information.
question number one. So question number one, are you, referring to, can the developer add value to the actual deal, the negotiation of the deal, or is it the actual project itself? Are we talking about the deal between two people here?
All of the above.
I kinda get what he's saying, like, is it the individual thing or just in
Or-
general? Just any way that he can add value to. a
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that's what we've been talking about for the last 8 weeks, right, gentlemen? It's in the book, it's in the lectures, it's in everything.
should be in the form of, for example, internal rate of return is greater than required rate of return,
So tell me what
MVP
action.
will be plus,
So-
minus, or zero.
So
Right.
tell me the answer, tell me what the investor would do, and then what is the NPV? Is it plus, minus, or zero?
So select plus, minus, or zero, and then what the investor will do.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought I was making it easy for you.
And just give it plus minus zero, that's it.
I mean, once you know what a plus, minus, is zero, you tell me what the investor's gonna want to do.
So.
I
in
mean, you
the
don't have to
blank-
tell me what they want, whether it's plus, minus, or zero.
So in the blank, you want us to tell us what the investor would do.
Yeah. That means you're almost all done, right?
Almost.
No.
That's
The general idea, okay.
close enough. If you like monosyllabic answers. You done?
No, that's kind of the structure you're looking for.
Yeah, and then, yeah, I mean, you can circle this, but yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, there's just not a lot of, room there.
Okay,
For
that's
you to-
fine. That's good.
I'm gonna ask the same thing.
You sure? You're done?
No, I said I'm gonna ask the same thing here.
Yeah, and then tell me whether it's, you know, plus,
Well,
minus,
let's
zero,
see.
or upside down, or backwards, okay? Alright, so, that's it. Right, okay, yeah, right. I'm asking you to use the English language, and then give me, you know, check what it is, because the two should correlate. Especially after our discussion 2 weeks ago about IRRs and NPVs. we almost done?
Yes, on the,
I did something really dumb.
It's not hard, come
on
on.
number 7, the
Number
acquisition
7.
cost, that is, cash acquisition. I'm trying to get started.
Oh,
On number 7, what do you need to know?
wow.
Was that a cash acquisition? Doesn't say.
Doesn't say. Therefore, I guess it wouldn't matter, would it?
I totally overlooked that whole section.
Much longer?
So, I'm just gonna give you a few more minutes to wrap things up, and then we can move forward with our class. You're done?
No, yet.
Not yet.
Can you tell me number 8?
What about number 8? You have an answer. So, but I'm not gonna give you the answer to the answer until we review the test.
True.
Okay, is that fair?
Yeah.
I think so. We'll have an opportunity to review the answers. I'm gonna take the tests upstairs, I'll get them copied, I'll put your test right back there, that way I'll grade them, and we'll go through it. We'll get to it.
Number 6 is tricky. Number 6
really?
is tricky.
This test was easier than the other test.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was less math, a little more thinking. If you read your text, if you remember what we talked about, then you're golden.
But
All
I
right.
totally messed up 7.
So a few more minutes. I'm looking at 9:05, and then I'll give you just a quick break as I run up and I can do this. All right, because you've had an hour. About a 1-minute warning.
Yes.
Oh, 5 minutes.
Yeah,
Did I say 1 or 5?
I did the completely wrong thing here, so I had to redoing it.
Yeah, so that's 10 minutes.
So if you were doing a contract and you're completing the brokerage deal, and you're right there at the signing table,
Is
what
this
would
part of my
happen?
minute?
What would happen?
I was
You're
focusing on
crunching into your
this.
time here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Too busy with the
I
words.
double check my answers.
Yeah. so much we want to talk about this morning.
Negative.
Mr. Trump and his taxes, recent articles, how to interpret graphs and charts, looking at contracts, looking at design, build, bid. Of course, Ben doesn't know any of that kind of stuff, so we don't worry about that. Understanding process, of course, listen to your presentations. I think we've got ourselves enough time, actually. Maybe a little bit this spring. Okay, great. So I'm granting you a few more here. I'm going to take your papers up, get them copied right now. I'm going to bring them right back to you.
Oh, you will?
Yes. Because I want you to have them so we can review them right here in the middle to the end of the class. But I want that to be valuable to you, so I just don't take them and you say, hey, what did I do? You know, that's the limitation of our class this morning, at any level. So we're going to go through them. All right?
Yeah, this is good, it's gonna get way stress over it.
No stress.
I want to use every second possible, so if you feel like everybody else is on my line. I'm just kidding, I'm just kidding. Let me just finish double checking.
I am so easy with you guys. Maybe it's because there are only 6 of you sitting here this morning.
Just from here to a lot of math, you gotta write this stuff down, it's.
You know, usually my class has 16 to 20. And I'll only copy that, which is fine. Okay. All right, second individual,
You're not gonna
give me
give
that.
me credit? You're not gonna give me partial credit?
I don't need the scratch. I'll let you keep the scratch. Great, your names are on both sides. You done? Yeah. Come on. All right, thanks very much. All right, I'll give you my grade.
Plus 10 points from my grade.
Wow.
I get another bagel or whatever it is from Einstein's. I'll be right back, gentlemen. Thank you very much.
I couldn't do the damn equity portion of 7. Fucking it up.
That permanent loan, that's me.
The loan and then the
How do you
tenant
calculate
improvement?
the permanent loan, is it just a 560, right?
Huh?
Is it just a 560?
What do you mean?
Alright, so the acquisition, you don't have to even consider the acquisition for the permanent loan. The permanent loan is just the construction loan, which is the 560 that he needs to budget. No?
It was a building. You could take a loan out to buy a building. You needed to take the acquisition cost, add in the TI, that's your total improvement cost. You can only borrow 75% of that or the debt service coverage ratio, whichever one.
That's why it wasn't making sense at the end.
Yeah, add those two up,
It wasn't making sense
Okay, what
at the
did you
end.
guys get for return on capital?
13.93%.
For what, for that one?
Oh,
I blew it.
no,
I
return
blew
on
it.
capital was
I get it
like
with
3 point
560.
something %.
Fuck.
And then
I
equity
get it with
was 13.
560.
You know what? I got 35, and I was like, this is too high.
Too much.
Well, no,
It was
I mean,
3 and 13.
I got 144%, that's why I thought it was just out of the water.
Hey, the return on equity is always higher because the denominator is less.
Because of leverage.
Yeah.
Yes, because of leverage, because you're taking out a loan.
And then the IR is greater, it's a plus.
Yeah.
Yes. IR is greater plus equals 0.
And then less.
It's go, no go. No, I know how to do it, it's just that I wasn't sure if it was the, I wasn't sure if it was, the permanent loan was just for the construction. I didn't read that part. It was just for the
You gotta buy a
construction.
building and then you gotta put money into it. So you add those two together, that's your total cost upfront. Your NOI was, you get the,
And you get the loan for the whole thing,
you get the total amount of.
whatever. For example,
Of capital.
For
And then
example,
you
you
could
said-
do
so
75%.
for example, let's say that I wanna buy a building,
an office building,
Yeah.
and say it's $1 million, and I see the improvements are gonna be 250. I go to the bank and I ask a loan for $1,250,000,
Yeah.
and then they say you're gonna have to put 25% down, and that's how I work. Yeah, that makes sense. But I wasn't sure. That was the whole thing, and I did it one way, and then I was gonna have to
What
reverse
did
it
you get
all.
for the square footage? For
For
the
what square?
acres?
I tell you right now, 370,875.
That's not about right.
Oye,
¿Qué pasó?
¿cómo le hiciste el del terreno?
El del terreno, el área es igual a A por B, un lado por el otro lado.
Ajá.
43,560 times 10
Ajá.
divided by 800.
Ok,
Yeah,
54 algo te da.
Well, you have to reduce the size, so it's
Ah.
25.
544
This is like 37.
54.50.
menos 50
Ok.
times 800 minus 50.
800
so
minus 50, and then the other
394.50
number.
times 750.
Well, we had to find what the other side was,
Okay.
and then by the combination.
There you go.
Ahí estaba.
I'm over it.
Por el otro.
Just like this project that is
Sí,
small.
43.
You get to say,
Igual.
you know the total area and you know one side. So you find the
Okay.
area and you divide it by the one side, gives you the other side.
Ok.
And then you subtract 50 from each one of those numbers, and then multiply that to find out the area. So you take 750 times whatever you had before. Yeah,
Ok.
and then it comes out to like 300 and something. Tenants. You're gonna think of tenant. Knowledge, capital, land, tenants.
Oh, fuck. I put land, capital, experience, and knowledge.
Experience.
Ay.
I'll talk about.
All I know
I'll
is we
talk
should do
about
this
financing
stupid law final today.
And how we went through the three options.
I
I
agree.
don't gonna have much time.
Because my brain's
Land, then I'll
What
talk
type of
about
leases did
financing,
you
we'll
put?
close it up.
gross percentage and.
Percentage is a retail
net.
Triple the lease.
Percentage is a retail lease.
Didn't you say that's for leases?
He said,
Pros.
commercial?
I didn't know he said office. I didn't read it that well then.
What did you put for the leases?
Gross, net, and hybrid.
And what? And hybrid. Hybrid lease? I didn't see that before.
Alright, so let's not think about tests.
No,
Let's go over the text.
Yeah, let's just do it.
I thought I'd give you a break for a few
No,
minutes.
no, no,
We
no.
wanna just knock it out.
Let's just knock it out
Okay,
right
You
now.
really do?
Yes, now that it's fresh.
It's perfect. Fresh. Still got the-
Okay,
Fresh and charred.
alright, you know what? Let's
say
change
office,
the
it does say
order.
office.
You know, I thought about doing that, but okay. Alright, so why don't I give you back your test?
Okay. What's your name?
Jesus.
I know. I'm giving you back the black and white. I get to keep color copies. And I know maybe a little bit off here.
Okay, so.
Okay.
Can I finish or not?
Huh?
Can I finish the test?
No, you've already finished the test. This is just your copy of the test, so that you can look at what it is, and you can make notes as we go through the exam, okay? All right. Wait, let me make sure I got this right. I gotta put up these right here. So thank you for your patience. And, you know what, I'm gonna assume that Carlicia will be looking for a test when she submits
Hey, what did
it.
you get for number 5?
There you go.
931,419 with 91 cents.
Me too.
All right.
But he got like $5 million. I'm like, man, that's not a lot of NOI for $5 million.
Okay, first,
You know, I
first
think
answer.
I did where it's the multiple.
All right, I got these. So, there are all sorts of ways, right?
Yep. Rezoning.
Yeah, rezoning, that's one way. I mean, that's obtaining entitlements is the same thing as rezoning, anything on a test,
Take a
right?
project through approvals.
So look, I'll liberally look at how you figured that out. But developers can do all sorts of different things,
I
yes.
have one question from you from the book.
Only one.
Yes. When it says that that development rights, is it different from obtaining entitlements?
No, so development rights are, so there are two different kinds of,
It seems like a developer can buy a piece of land and all of a sudden won't be able to build because of the rights change or something
okay,
like that.
all right, and so let's really clarify that, which is a really great point. So most communities have actual entitlements or development rights which are usually planned or already laid out. And so those development or zoning rights are there.
Okay.
However, that's different than what is an approved plan for a particular property.
Okay.
So are you comparing your answers, gentlemen?
No.
Not yet, okay. And so basically, if for example, if you have a piece of property like your Thor Windward property, there is a particular zoning on the property. That's an entitlement. However, it doesn't mean that you have the right to build something with a particular plan. You still have to go in and get the plan to build X number of units and get it approved.
Okay.
All right, and so basically, to get the entitlements or prove on that, you still have to go in and actually go through that approvals process. And I'm going to show you that chart. Remember
Right,
that
right.
value chart that we put together? I'll recap that as well. So you may actually say, hey, I've got the right to put apartments on the land, but you still have to go into the city or the municipality and say, how many apartments can I do, what size, what configuration? And that's the key. And so the value that a developer places on that property is not just simply buying the land and getting that, it's already, let's say it's multifamily, but saying, oh, I can put 300 units on it. And then by doing that paper change, then there's real value that they can then flip that property and sell it to somebody else. Yes?
I didn't write entitlements, but when I wrote apply for plat.
That's a similar kind of thing, but okay, so now that would really be about how you subdivide and really separate the parcel. So sometimes if you can actually create a number of different parcels out of a single parcel, you're actually creating value. So for example, there are people who say, well, if I have a single parcel and I can subdivide it and create 40 homes on a single parcel, then you're creating value. So what did Harry Posen do at Central Falls? He in effect took a single parcel and said, I can create 89 home lots or townhome lots on that particular parcel. And that's creating value. And that's the same thing. So now if you have an existing building, if you renovate it or reposition it, that's the same kind of thing. That's creating value.
Can a developer find a creative way to finance a project? Is that also added value?
Yes, that's creating value too. It's a different kind of creating value. I was looking for more fundamental issues, but I will look at what
You'll be graceful.
And you also, when you go through construction and you build the shell of the structure, that you're creating that value as well, right? In some way.
So that's not the same kind of creating value. That's construction. So I'm looking at fundamental values that a developer brings to the process.
Well, experience.
Hmm?
He's got the experience in the team, so he's bringing value by having done this before and having the right team of people to be able to do it.
Well, yes, that's a different kind of effort, and that's why we'll get to the next question. Yes, Noah, and then Daniel.
I put something similar, fully developing / constructing the property, I put parcel.
Yeah, that's
Just
pretty
like
value.
construction.
So I will look at that in the context of what you've written. Yes.
Yeah, I remember the chart we were talking about, where
Listen, I
in
didn't get over a
I
can think of 5 points.
Gentlemen, yes?
Of a property development, the portions where you have the greatest profits and that you can obtain from a real estate transaction, they show that going through the zoning and land use
Yes.
portion create the most value out of any other portion.
Yeah,
just
so
because
in
of time
fact,
commitment.
let's just go to that chart. I've got it here. And so that's part of looking at this. So remember this chart, this is a really key chart to understanding how you actually create value on a
You
property.
develop the structure, you
Right.
create some value.
And so there are different
A little
ways of
value.
creating value.
Yeah,
And most value really is this packaging, parceling, entitling here. And yeah, you can build and develop it, but so I'm really looking at the fundamental process and we'll see what it is. Okay.
I'm just
And
gonna
by the
say
way,
that
it's
I'm
on
all-
Blackboard.
I know,
I know, and you like taking
pictures.
pictures.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, but I'm just trying to help you think, because when you are out there looking for property, or when Noah goes once again scouring the streets of Coral Ridge, what is it that he's trying to find? I'm
Well,
serious. That's
what,
right.
I have a comment, because it says here that, the cost is very low. But by reading the book,
Relative.
right,
Relatively speaking, most of your cost is into building that $120 million
Well,
high
true.
rise and
Got it.
the little
because
bit.
when you read the chapter on land, you find out that acquisition of raw land and all that is probably one of the most riskiest parts of.
Right, and we'll discuss about
Yes.
the issues of land and development and all that in the process. But let's go back, but you're right. So remember, land is a smaller portion. Now, of course, in cities and different locales, the price of land really increases. Of course, if you're on Collins Avenue in beachfront in Miami, it makes a big difference, doesn't it? So, so it's relative. But so as long as you're in the ballpark, I'll grant you that particular sense. Okay, so next question. Pizer is really right to it, and it's
Yeah.
really fundamental, okay?
Couldn't remember the last
The
one.
tenant,
I mean, that was that great
Yeah.
circle.
the cash, the land, and the knowledge.
Right, that's right, and that's when you were saying, hey, putting the team together, that's a different kind of thing. Sure, we all got the knowledge, but you gotta execute, that's really what the first question was. And here, the ability to execute relies on having these four elements to make sure you can properly
You
execute.
gotta have one of those to
That's right.
be a player.
And okay, and tenants could be users, okay, if you will. Knowledge, yes, and expertise is part of your team. Capital, any form of financing. Land, yeah, I want to have it under contract or control in some way, shape, or form.
Right now we have knowledge.
And I'm hopefully
He's got capital.
parsing
And
that
knowledge.
out. Well, no, seriously.
Tenants do.
Yes, our firm has a little bit of capital. We don't always have the capital. And so we have to find the right capital for the right deal. And so
One of
it's
the
a
things
matter
that
of
I've
teaming up.
learned is that
That's right.
you put
All right,
capital together.
next question. This came right from your reading. I mean, these are the three different kinds of commercial office leases. Gross lease, right? Everything is in one, if you will, cover. Landlord pays all the expenses. The net lease, similar but not quite the same as many retail leases, where you have a base rent and share, and then expense stop, the tenant pays anything
I had a
above
different
that.
name, hybrid, because they also have a, 4G has on
Of course.
the
Yes.
hybrid.
Yes, they're hybrids, of course. But these are the fundamental three of which you can have all sorts of permutations.
Totally, that's the word office.
Suburban office, yeah.
No, I was saying I just put leases.
Yes. Well,
Residential lease.
so as I said, the reading assignment
Industrial
for the
lease.
past 2 weeks was read these chapters 5 and 8, and you would have gotten it right away. Okay, so this, I hope everybody got this, Class A, B, and C. And I just put up a few items. I wanted you to, let's see,
You didn't put
the
their
newer
locations.
used to be Class A. It's interesting. Now, some of you said Class B used to be Class A. Sometimes you build
Yeah.
a
Just regular
Class B building. And so, and many Class B buildings were Class A, but not always. And so, for example, we went out to SunWest Commerce Park. What is that?
That is Class B.
I think so.
Yeah.
They're building a certain kind of building. It's not a bad building. It's not a great location, but it's perfectly marketed to the market. What it
So
is.
that's wrong?
Huh?
So that's wrong?
No. And then of course Class C
Alright.
is like the building that we're in right now, right? No, just kidding, just joking, actually. So actually this building I think would be considered what? What would be?
A.
Huh?
A.
Because why?
It's got very
Yeah.
nice amenities,
Very nice
got
amenities.
libraries.
Yeah,
It
generally,
is
yeah.
a
That's
base
right.
A building in university.
Maybe, but actually from a locational perspective,
Class B.
that's right, so it's kind of a
Suburban.
hybrid.
Right.
A lot of
there.
parking.
That's right, okay, alrighty. So our first math question. And so I think what is really interesting, how many of you really got this answer? Raise your hands, come on. 3 out of 6. All right, now, this wasn't meant to be a quick question, but, let's see, oh no, this is actually a good exercise here. You know what I'm gonna do? I didn't realize I could do this.
There's only 6 people, so you can.
Okay. 1, 2, yeah, 3 of you actually came, well, you came with a few dollars close. And so, here's what's really interesting about this, and I know this is about reading. Reading is fundamental, and it's really about interpreting it. And so, what's the key to this particular question, guys?
Extract the numbers.
Track them?
Extract the
Extract
numbers.
them,
the-
excuse me.
the
You get to the
variables.
monthly payment, and then you find out the
No.
maximum loan.
The key is
okay.
to find the annual debt service.
Okay, but actually, let me suggest this. It's actually a little bit different. It's to get rid of the extraneous information.
That's what I said first.
That's a different
Extract
way of
the
saying it.
variables.
All right, yeah, all right, I'll go with you, Ben. All right, and so you're right, extract what's important, get rid of what isn't. And so what information here was unimportant?
The words.
No,
The debt service.
no,
the-
words
I
are
use
important,
debt
but
service
what key part of the information was irrelevant?
I don't think I use the debt service coverage ratio.
How'd you find your?
Well, maybe, let's
you go.
see, Luis, it's funny, you got this right, but
You
the
had
debt
to
service
have-
coverage ratio
you
was
needed it.
absolutely critical to the answer of the question.
Yeah, you're right.
But what,
So how do you?
wait, I think I'm gonna have to, mark you wrong on this, wait a second. So, you know what was really, come on, what's
Good guess.
irrelevant? What is the irrelevant
The
number?
future value button?
Pardon?
No,
What's irrelevant in this question?
I don't know, everything I use.
Come on,
There's
no,
no
no, no.
vacancies or collection loss.
No, really, actually, let's think about this. So, reading it together, so obviously it's very important to figure out the actual,
loan to value.
the loan. Obviously, you have to know what the income is, right? And so that first number is key, $12,500 a month.
The 70% loan to value is irrelevant,
Right, why?
because whatever you get is the 70%.
No,
No.
keep going.
Well, because the,
it's not irrelevant. It's not irrelevant because
it is irrelevant.
It's
The reason why it is
irrelevant.
The reason why it's
Why?
irrelevant is because once you find out that
That
the loan
service-
is 931, then you have
because
to
you
come up
don't
with the other
know
30%.
what the acquisition cost is.
Right, you have no idea what the value is of this property.
Right.
Forget the loan to value issue and the debt, you
don't
don't
know
even
what
know
debt
what the
is.
value of the building is. So strike that out. It's irrelevant. And once you know that's irrelevant, then this becomes important. Why? Because then you take 12 and a half, you multiply that by 12, right? Okay. And then you subtract the 25%, and then you divide it by the 1.35. Are you all with me?
Yeah,
So
and you do
I
your
mean,
annual and then.
Really? Okay, so 12.5 times 12 is $150,000. And remember, 25% of that is 37.5, and you subtract that, so your NOI is 112,500.
Divided by 1.3.
All right, but hold on. Do you understand how we got 112,005 for the 3 of you who didn't get the problem? So the annual, the potential gross income is 150,000. And then it basically said, and since there was no vacancy and collection loss, no other income, and 25% of the PGI was allocated to operating expense. So therefore, 37.5 subtracted from the 150 is 112.5. And so since this is irrelevant, we need to do the debt service coverage ratio. And so that would tell us what the total annual loan payment would be. So we take the 112.5 and divide that by 1.35. And that gives us $83,333.33 a year. But remember, because we're calculating this on a monthly basis,
You divide by 20.
we divide yet again by 12. and we get our monthly debt service of $6,944.44. You put that into your calculator, 20-year loan, 6.5%, and you work backwards for your present value of your loan, and bingo, that's how you get the $931,000. It's actually a pretty simple problem, but the challenge here was to get rid of this. Okay, I like that problem. Of course, I made it up. Okay, let's go to the next one. I'm trying to ease all your fears. You said you wanted this done now, right guys?
Good, good.
Okay, now you've seen
just
this
skip
problem
one.
before,
Skip one.
except the numbers.
I got one right.
Got one.
Look, I'm sure everybody's got it close, but the key is you gotta have it ingrained in your DNA.
No, my problem was that I did not understand what was the permanent loan. I thought it was just the construction loan, and I didn't put the cost of, that's why I was asking if they paid cash for the building,
Okay.
because I couldn't, I didn't understand the concept, that was.
Which people got that one right?
Oh wait, I skipped a number, didn't I?
Yeah, number 6.
Number 6. Oh, I don't know what number 6 is. We can do number 6. That's real easy. All right, so number 6. Let's see.
What up?
Who did number
Who did
6?
that?
2, 3, 1. 3 of you got number 6.
Yeah.
Actually, 4 of you got number 6 because you actually put it in acreage. We can
Hey,
all
both
do
of you
number
want
6
acres.
together.
Yeah.
Come on,
1
folks.
acre.
Number 6.
1
10 acres, okay?
What was the answer on number 6?
Number 6?
370.
Just the answer, just the answer.
Yeah, the answer is 370, 875.
You're right.
And you know how we got there? So it was 10 acres, and we all now know by heart that there are 43,560 square feet in every acre. And so 10 times that is 435, 560. All right? And the other key number in this was 800.
800.
And so that then told us what our rectangle was, right? And so if the frontage, actually I drew this the wrong way, it meant then that you calculated that this was 544.5 feet. And then
50,
what you had to do was figure out the 25 feet here
50
and
off of
subtract
each.
within. And
And
so
then
then this number becomes
750 times-
750 times 499.50, and this equals that.
Right.
That's all. Okay, 8.5. All right, now we get to the next problem. Okay, thank you. There we go. All right, let's go. Great. All right. So you would ask the question, is it debt, is it equity? And so here, let's just get to the first answer here, because of course, you want to figure out what's going on here. So,
I got that one right.
well, I'm glad to hear it.
So I only missed 4 points.
4 points out of that problem.
Okay, wait, let's see if everybody at least got the NOI. Jesus, excuse me, he's off by about $1,000. I don't know
Yeah.
why.
I think that's
He
close
spent
enough.
it.
He's having a baby today, so.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. All right, so Jesus, let's have Jesus tell us how to get the NOI on this. How did you calculate the NOI?
Calculate it, but,
Let's start with you.
okay, PA, then I calculated the PGI, then the EGI, then I subtract it, and it's the NOI.
But go through the number.
437,500, 437,500.
That's right.
Then, the EGI is 3, less the OE is 137,500. I subtract it, and then it's 255,800.
So you got the right formula, but you got the wrong numbers. And so that's what I'm trying to figure out. So you know you have 25,000 square feet, and you multiply it by the rent, right?
Yeah, correct.
And so you got the right number, 437,000. And then the question was, okay, you wanted to figure out what your effective gross income was. And to do that, you're at 90%, right?
393,750.
Yeah.
So 90% of 437 was 393,750. You were off by 450 bucks.
Yeah.
You're not using your
I
calculator
know.
right.
Maybe, that's right.
Right. And so by that is why you're off as a result. And then you subtract the 137 and you get 256. So the rest of you got that pretty well. All right, now the real question is how to get the 188,990.